Hey, we're already here on a Monday. We're here till 2 o'clock. And it felt like kind of a little bit of a sports weekend, or like a slow sports weekend, especially with the Rays getting rained out on Saturday, although I thought that was kind of a good thing for them. But I wanted to start out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. Tim and I had seen something. By the way, Tim, how are you? Welcome in on a Monday.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. How was your weekend? Did you do anything fun?
Nah, just hung out with some friends. Just had a few beers. Nothing crazy.
Sounded like a good week. Where'd you go for beers? Did you end up going to Ferg's?
I did go to Ferg's. Yeah, I went to Ferg's on Saturday. Hit up Cowboys on Friday night. So.
Oh, are you a country? You got a pair of cowboy boots?
I got a pair of cowboy boots. I got a cowboy hat that I got over out in Yellowstone. So I got the real thing.
You know, I can picture Cowboy Tim. I really could. You kind of have that. I'm not surprised by this. Okay, can you like two-step and line dance?
So I could do, I pride myself on being a very good dancer, but when I get out and line dance to cowboy stuff, my feet just don't know how to work.
Okay, I can see that too. Not surprised by anything you're telling me.
No, I am a very good dancer. I gotta say that.
Okay, we're gonna have to see this one time. So Cowboys dance, all right. I've gone by that place. My wife and I always see like videos of it. I'm like, God, that'd be so cool to be able to do that. So I can only imagine some of the cool things you run into out there. Well, here we are. It is a Monday. Tim's back from Cowboys Dance Hall. You never wear your cowboy boots to work, by the way.
Yeah, because then my knees are shot the next day.
Oh, yeah? You got to like ice pack them up after going out to the dance hall?
There's no soles in those boots, obviously. They're boots.
So last week, Tim and I saw this post. What was it, Poly Market? It was on Twitter. What is Poly? Or no, it was Kalshi, which is one of those, those apps where you can like, I don't know. To me, they all seem kind of, I don't want to get too far into it, but they're different. But it's almost like a stock market, but for opinions and sports, and you can basically, I guess, place a bet on pretty much anything. But they posted a graphic that had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Mount Rushmore and asked if you agree. And I think I do agree. You do not agree. And here are the four pictures. And look, what I don't want to get into is who's on your Mount Rushmore. Because I don't want to do a Mount Rushmore topic. I don't want Pat Donovan making fun of us. He is so anti-Mount Rushmore topics. And I agree. They're a little corny. I feel like when people do a Mount Rushmore topic, it's because they got nothing to really talk about. But I thought the debate here could be, does this one player belong? Because you have Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Mike Evans. Those are the three that I think are undebatable. Those three belong on that Mount Rushmore graphic. Would you agree with those three?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I have no problem. It's not about being the nicest person. Otherwise, Warren Sapp wouldn't be on there. It's about what you did in the Buccaneers uniform. And that fourth player, and this is the one that we disagree on, that fourth player is one who actually made an appearance yesterday on the roast of Kevin Hart. I still need to watch all of it. I got through about half of it last night, so we're not going to talk about the roast today because I got to finish it tonight. It started at 8 o'clock. I don't know why we couldn't have put this on Saturday night. 8 o'clock, 3-hour event. The East Coast loses again. But that person I'm talking about is Tom Brady. Does Tom Brady belong on the Mount Rushmore for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Because I believe that he does. I think you have to include Tom Brady in the Mount Rushmore when you're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, a lot of people might think differently because he was only here for, 3 seasons? And for some people, that's not long enough. They feel that you got to play here longer in order to be considered the franchise's great. But I believe for so many different reasons, Tom Brady actually, I think the graphic's dead on. Now, I know, we were talking about this in the pre-show with Aaron Jacobson. He mentioned Leroy Selman, and I agree. The thing is this franchise has had so many great players, it's really hard to narrow it down to 4. And I think Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Mike Evans, it's hard to really debate any of those guys. But Tom Brady being the 4th, I agree with it because I think he completely changed the perception of a franchise the moment he arrived here in Tampa Bay. And really, even since he's been gone, I think the perception of the franchise has been changed. So it wasn't just during the Tom Brady era. I think he has made this franchise so much more relevant to the national media than they were previously. Hell, that damn housing market went up, and some people will say that's because of Tom Brady moving here. You know, Tom Brady impacted this team in so many different ways. He delivered a Super Bowl championship in his very first season with the team. How do you not put him on there? He's one of 2 quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl in this town. And let's be honest, 2002 was one on the defense. Now, don't get me wrong. In 2020, the defense played a major role, especially the Super Bowl in itself. Not even giving up a single touchdown to the Chiefs' offense and Patrick Mahomes. Nobody does that. The defense was incredible. Kudos to Todd Bowles. Great defensive coordinator. The amount of talent on that defense was just insane. But when you look at all of the stats overall, Tom Brady is like the quarterback leader in just about every stat category, and he only was a quarterback for 3 years. So he played the most important position on the team, comes in right away. Not only does he win a Super Bowl, but something that I think does count in all of this, he doubled the franchise value. They doubled in value the moment he arrived. That's impressive. Now, maybe part of that is due to inflation and the economy that we are in. But that franchise value doubled because of one guy. There's no other players that you could put up on that Mount Rushmore of Buccaneers players and say they doubled the franchise value. Tom Brady's it. He brought national relevance to the Bucs. And how many more primetime games have we gotten since Tom Brady? You know, during the Tom Brady years, there were so many. But even after Tom, the winning kind of continued. He changed the culture around here. And it started to become, you know, you must win the division. You must host a playoff game. That was the low bar. And since he's left, we've accomplished that every single year other than last year, of course. But, you know, Tom Brady elevated everybody around him. Like, this team was pretty good when he arrived, but he was that piece that took them to the next level. They went from 7-9 to 11-5 and were Super Bowl champions in year number 1. So I don't know how you can't include Tom Brady, but I understand he is the debatable name on this list. 888-388-0957. You can also text in 82945. Start your text with DAE. Now, I think Tom belongs. Tim, you think differently. You feel that he should not be on the top 4, the Mount Rushmore for Tampa Bay Buccaneer players.
Correct.
And why not? Because he's accomplished more than most Buccaneers have ever accomplished.
In what? Win 1 Super Bowl?
Look, that's huge. He also is a stat leader in so many different categories for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a franchise that has not had many great quarterbacks. Arguably Baker's the second best quarterback we've ever had.
No, I agree with that, Nick. I just, listen, something you pointed out is Brady was here for 3 seasons. Yes, when he came in here, his aura and his leadership absolutely changed the culture because you did have a young defense. You did have a fairly young offense, a young team. You got Tristan Wirfs in the draft, and it changed on a dime. I get that. That was important. But when you're looking at this, yes, Tom Brady should not be up there because it was only 3 seasons. Like, he won 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the most successful 3-year run the franchise has ever seen.
No, I don't disagree with that, but I feel like you've got guys, as some of the texters have said, as you said, Aaron mentioned earlier, Leroy Selman, you've got Rondé Babo should be up there. You know, I think this is a little bit of a stretch, but hey, Mike Allstott, you got a bunch of these great players. Levante David, for one. I think they have earned
until
more
Tom
of a right.
Until Tom Brady got here, Levante David never had any success.
Yeah, but they've earned more of a right to be up in that Mount Rushmore than Tom Brady has as a Buccaneer.
So is it about longevity, or because to me it's all about championships? Like when a player gets drafted by the Buccaneers, I'm like, all right, is this guy going to help me win a championship? That's my first. Like when Reuben Bain was drafted, my first thought was, is he going to help me win a championship? My first thought wasn't, is he going to play 15 years here? Like, my first thought is, can he win me a championship? Tom Brady did that. So
Yes.
why does he not belong? He played the most important position. Does that Super Bowl happen without Tom?
give me somebody else at quarterback. But yeah, no. I mean, if you had Jameis Winston, no.
I mean, they had a different quarterback. That Jameis, they went 7 and 9.
No, of course not. It wouldn't. But I understand that, and I get it. He's the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Obviously, I would know. But it was so quick. Let's put it this way, I would be all for this if they won 2 out of the 3 years that Brady was here. Had they won twice, then Brady absolutely should be up there. Otherwise, listen, Brady was great here. He put up a lot of numbers. He should have won MVP in that final season, but got robbed by Rodgers and the voting people. But ultimately, listen, Brady, in my mind, should not be on the Mount Rushmore for the Buccaneers.
There's only one player on that picture that has more than one Super Bowl win. That's, of course, Mike Evans. Actually, no, Mike's got one, too. They all got one. Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, one. Tom Brady, Mike Evans. I mean, so it's not like it takes multiple Super Bowls. I guess, to me, is what are the qualifications? To me, so are you saying longevity? Like, who would you replace him with? I mean, I know you did mention. I mean, look, I think Selman has to be on there, but who are you taking off? I guess you're going to take off Tom Brady, but I still think, and I don't want this to sound disrespectful, because it kind of does, but Selman, I don't want to say it this way. No one's done more for the organization than Tom Brady. No one's done more for this organization than Tom Brady.
Like during his playing days?
Even after. The effect that he has had on this team, nobody can come close.
True.
You know, so to me, all of that stuff kind of matters. I think he belongs on as just like I think he should be next in the and look, people will disagree with me on this. I'd put him in the Ring of Honor next.
You see, now that's what, like, okay, so to me, I do agree that winning championships is absolutely a key part of a Mount Rushmore. But also, too, I do believe it's longevity, especially when you're talking about team Rings of Honor, team Hall of Fames, Mount Rushmores. That absolutely matters. And look, Levante David was on that team, whether they won prior to Brady's arrival or not. And that's where Levante David was a massive part of that defense. So like, again, I love Tom Brady. I think he deserves to be in the conversation, but he is not, in my mind, up on the Mount Rushmore. There are plenty of other Buccaneers who have won one championship and deserve to be up on that Mount Rushmore than Tom Brady does.
But Selman, I think, is the only guy that you could argue to be on there above him, and he didn't win a championship, but he had the longevity. So
exactly.
888-388-0957. Did Kelshi get it right? Is it Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Tom Brady, and Mike Evans? I don't want you to call in and give me your 4 names. I just want you to tell me if you think Tom Brady belongs. That's all. I don't want to do the Mount Rushmore topic. I just want to know if you think Tom Brady belongs as a top 4 player of the organization all time. Because I think he does.